Well, good morning, good morning. Yesterday it was 70 degrees, nice. And then last night it got cold and it's under 20 today. So, wow, what a change. So I'm gonna go in the bus, see what the temperature is like inside there. I do have a little heater in the bus. So that kind of helps with keeping the temperature up a little bit. So we'll see if it's bearable. And went and picked up some material yesterday from Lowe's this time. But you can see my little pickup. If you look at the pickup, it's pretty weighted down. I'm going to use this for stripping my bus to hook all my 1/4-inch paneling to in my walls and all that. So we'll get started on that and see how things go in the next few minutes. See what the temperature's like in that bus. It is cold here still, but the sun's shining. You can see that I've finished my floor. So I have 3/4 tongue and groove plywood all the way to the front. I've already started my backing behind my wall. So this will give me something to attach my cabinets to, my walls to, and I'll put these strips all the way and all the way down. Now I'm leaving it, this is actually it's decking. It's what's called 5/4. That means when they originally cut it, it was 5/4 of an inch, so it was 1 1/4. Then after they plane it down, it ends up being a full 1 inch. So when you buy a 1x4, or it's always 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches. What they do is they rough cut it at the measurement that you expect to get, and then by the time they plane it and dress it and ship it to you, it's actually going to be, your 2x4 is going to be 1.5 inches by 3.5, so you lose a 1/2 inch both ways. So this is a 5/4 board for decking, and it actually is treated. It will be all sealed because we're shooting over everything with our insulation. But right now I'm putting the 2x6 where the back of the cabinets will go, and so that will give me a lot to attach to. The cabinet, the cabinet itself will only come up 36 inches, which is right here, including the top. I'm going to put a little backsplash. Well, that'll be about 5 inches. So that backsplash, I've got it coming down on there far enough so that I've got plenty to screw to when I put that up and glue to. So most of it I'll be cutting these in half, so they'll actually be a little bit less than 3 inches. As we put other things in, there'll be places where, as I lay it out, because I've already started to lay it out on the floor with the blue tape, and as I lay it out, there's other places where I'll put extra backing. Any place I need a lot of strength to attach to the wall. Now, as I'm putting these on, I am screwing them on. I'm also gluing them on. So I'll show you what I'm using here. What I'm using is I'm using liquid nails. This is extreme heavy-duty construction adhesive is what I'm using, and I'm gluing it right to the steel, and then I'm screwing it on with these. I set them into that 1 inch, about almost 3/8 of an inch, and then these are self-tappers. They go right into the steel. And what I'm going through is I'm going through 2 pieces of 11 gauge steel. So it has to have a pretty good screw to self-tap through that. And pretty good pressure to push it in there too. So that's what I'm doing today. Stripping all this, getting it ready. Hopefully I will set a camera up for a little bit of it so that you can, I'll put maybe a time lapse in there so that you can just watch me put a few things in. But it's going good. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have all my radiant floor in, and I've got those run to my utility area where my hot water heater will be. So things are coming together. I think I'm going to make my deadline to be finished by the end of May. So good things are happening. I'm also going to set up an additional camera. I have I have a little Nikon 3300D, and it does a very good video, and it has good sound also. It's just a little bulky. What I used to shoot with is the G7X. Actually, it's the new G7X, so I guess Mark II is what they call it. But I shoot with the G7X. That's what I'm shooting on right now. It has, from my opinion, it has the best ability to refocus, shoots in low light, and has good sound quality. So I'm going to set this one up also on the other end and let it video while I do a little bit of work here. So the rest of this will probably be time lapse, so you don't have to spend a lot of time watching it. Hey, by the way, thanks for watching these videos and subscribing. It's a blessing to me to know somebody out there can use the information I have. Well, I'm going to show you a little close-up of actually how I'm drilling these. Okay, if you look at this drill bit here, it's a 1/2 inch drill bit, and I put a piece of tape around it so I can tell how deep I'm drilling. And you can see it's about 3/8 is all I want to go into that 1 inch board. And on the ends right here, what I did is I just went in straight, and I stayed back close to a 1/2 inch on each one of them. Even though I don't have much to catch there, I'm leaving me some space between the window so that I have a little space to put some trim in for my finish. But now when I go in with the screw, I can, because I'm already 3/8 of an inch in, I can easily angle into this 11 gauge tubing, and it'll give me a good tight, good connection, and also I'm gluing behind that. So I'll go ahead and put a couple screws in. But what allows me to catch that is the countersink that I'm doing with that 1/2 inch drill bit. So now it takes a lot of pressure. It takes a lot of pressure to push that in there, so it's not for the faint of heart. You got to put a little pressure on there to get these screws to go ahead and see if we can get that to focus. Anyway, to get these screws to go ahead and bite in and drill the hole in that 11 gauge metal. If it was thinner metal, it would go real fast, but since it's really heavy metal, it takes a little pressure. But boy, when it's on there in that 11 gauge metal, it is on there. So looking good, pleased with what's happening right here. So I'll just continue. I'll do the other end of this. Okay, I've already drilled and glued the end of this, so now I just have to put the screws in. And boy, once it grabs hold, you've got it. It's there. Okay, I couldn't pull that off at this point, so it's a good thing to have some good backing. It's about 7 feet between 3 of these, so 12-footer works out where it doesn't have a whole lot of loss. But that piece is in. Doesn't take that long to do, but I'm going to put 4 on this, but the other ones will be just 3 inches wide instead of the full 6 inches wide. So I'll have one piece down both sides, except where I need extra backing. And it's going pretty fast. Now, if you notice, I'm putting props underneath. It's a lot faster than measuring. It holds everything in place. So I'm putting props underneath it. And for this part, it doesn't have to be exact, but I still want it within, you know, 1/8 of an inch or less. So that's what I'm using these for, and it makes it much easier. Once I set it on top of this and I have glue on the walls, I can just push it up against it, and the glue is sticky enough that it holds it in place until I get it drilled and attached to the wall. Works out really good. Okay, now as you notice, these boards have ice on them. They got quite a bit of ice. As I bring them in here, it's 40 degrees in here almost. It's 20 outside. They'll start thawing out and melting, but I don't have any problem with just putting the glue right on there. It's going to work out great. There's a little bit of moisture. I scrape it off before I actually glue it to the wall. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I discovered, which would be disconcerting if I was doing a deck right now for someone else, but I discovered that there's no way that these boards are the same size. So if you look right here, you'll see that there's quite a disparity between this one and this one. This one is the 5.5, which is really what a 6-inch piece is supposed to be, but this one is an extra inch bigger. Isn't that interesting? But since it's all backing, doesn't really matter. It's covering everything that I need to cover here, so it's not a big deal. And these are a full 1 inch thick, and when it's 1 inch thick, and then I'm putting 2 screws in right now, but I'm going to come back and reinforce it with a 3rd screw after I'm all done. Right now I'm just putting 2 screws in each one, but still I think that would be sufficient if that's all I did. But we're making progress. Excited about what's going on here. A couple of little tips that you might be interested in putting up the runners. I discovered I would mark the 2 ends, and then my runner would end up being a little crooked. So I went ahead and chalked from end to end, and then I discovered that in using these clamps, these welding clamps I have, that I can put them on real tight, and then I can just pull this up to where, and it'll just hold it right in place. Once I pull it up, holds it right in place, right on the line, and then I can just lay it back and put my glue on it and drill all my holes, and then I'm in good shape. So I can just put the glue right here in a line, and then on the ends, I'll go ahead and show you. I'll go ahead and do it here in just a second, but you'll see I can just put glue on the ends, tip it up. When I tip it up, it sticks real well, and because the glue's a little bit sticky, and then I can drill it and go ahead and put my screws in. Pretty cool, huh? I hold it back about a 1/2 inch from the end, and about a 1/2 inch down from the bottom and the top. Okay, so you saw me put a couple of these on, and that works out real good for me. Your method may be a little bit different, but I'm just moving right along here. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you could. And also, I would really appreciate any comments or questions that you might have. And I'm learning. Hopefully, you'll be learning a little bit too.